the king and the high mage have definitely done the nasty. Alrighty. Hello everyone, and welcome to my reaction to Mystery of Erebos. This is a story that I have been wanting to watch for a really long time, and then I recently put up a poll on my YouTube channel to see which of the 4 or 5 shows that I had picked you would like to see the most, and Mystery of Erebos got the most votes, and so we shall be watching that. What I know about the show is that it is set in the fantasy realm. There is potentially going to be dragons because it is called the Dragon Prince, and I have just finished watching the Mighty Nine, so this feels like the most appropriate segue into the next show, and I'm really hyped to watch it. Now, the first season has around 9 episodes in it, and so what I am planning on doing is watching the first episode and then post that watching 2 episodes together. So it will be episode 1 and then episode 2 and 3, 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, so that we are not kind of cut short right at the finale and we get to like experience, or at least I get to experience it in one go, as opposed to sitting at the edge of my seat like, oh my god, what's going to happen next. So let's get started and check out the very first episode of Mystery of Erebos. The chameleon slash dog didn't make me feel like this show was going to be my new obsession. That intro definitely did. The art style, oh, the animation, the world building, and the theory behind it all. Oh, the second they said stars, I was like, I am logged in and ready to go. I am such a stargazer. I love learning everything about stars. Oh, this is so fun. This is definitely going to be something I will recommend to people. I mean, based on how it keeps building, because I don't want it to be like a dull show with just like the first few minutes being exciting. But I see the potential. It's really exciting to see this particular bit, but also at the same time, the only thought that's running through my head is humans. We literally destroy everything beautiful in this world, don't we? Oh my god, like I know I'm stereotyping and putting pretty much everyone in a box right now, but also at the same time, they were so pretty and their essence was then used to create dark magic. Like, I'm not naive to the ways of the world, but also at the same time, ugh, power hungry fools, I tell you.
Horrified, they draw.
You know what? As a human being, that's an absolutely fair thing to do. Go off. I mean, I know that the end goal of this whole show is probably going to be like humans and magical creatures can work well together and bringing people together. And this is kind of almost like segregation, to be completely honest. But also at the same time, no. But also at the same time, I mean, it's genuinely stereotyping at a very large scale, but also at the same time, right now, from an outsider's perspective, I don't see a problem. It's not like they're harming them. They're just like, okay, do your crazy shit on that side of the world. Let us have our magical worlds and protect the ways of the old nature here. And you do the crazy stuff and whatever nonsense that you want to do on that side of the world. Once again, I see the intent, balance, bringing humans and magical creatures together, but did it work out that well the first time? There's a reason why they were divided. I am sorry. I'm really not, but also at the same time.
In the east, the magical lands of Zadia, and in the west, the human kingdoms.
In the west, the human kingdoms was said with so much contempt, I could feel that in my bones. See, they're still fighting over it. Dumbasses. Oh my god. I'm sure some random human being is going to go out there and kill the dragon now just for the sake of it. Fun and giggles nonsense like that. As I'm watching this, it does feel extremely chaotic, right? Like they have been in war pretty much consistently, even after the division. That must suck for pretty much everyone. No one would want to be a soldier, or everyone would want to be a soldier, because there's no other option. There is no other way for peace to exist. Oh my god, that's scary. And also so annoying. You're like, I won't just stop at killing the main dude. I will get rid of any potential heirs. Like, logically, in the long-term plan, it makes sense. Odysseus did kill Hector's son by throwing him off the wall. In the long term, it makes sense, but also in the short term, it's like, ugh. But also the fact that this show is called The Dragon Prince, I'm pretty sure that they didn't really manage to kill the egg. I think they were bamboozled and they accidentally killed some other egg as opposed to killing the main egg. Someone must have had a lot of fun painting an egg like it was Easter. Make it beautiful, blue, with stars in it. Maybe a crack of lightning in there just so that, you know, it's on brand. Those idiot humans won't have any idea what they actually destroyed. It was just an ostrich egg.
Please!
Well, that was a great fight that felt pretty anticlimactic, but also it's to show that, oh, elves are not bad. We don't kill without reason. I mean, I almost made you piss your pants, but also at the same time, we don't kill without reason. I pretty much expected the man to go, please don't kill me. I have a wife and son. But maybe being silent helped. I saw that blessed son. And kids, that's how I met your mother. She almost beat me, almost killed me. And as lightning struck the sky, her face was illuminated. And for the first time in my life, I realized that I've never seen a woman more beautiful. Bum bum bum. That's why when there is an all-out war going out, you don't leave someone alive. Could have taken him as a prisoner of war, but no, had to let him go, didn't you, darling? I swear to God, I am not this evil. I'm like the most compassionate person you would ever meet if you meet me in real life. I'm like the calmest, like, no, let's think this through. Let's be diplomatic about it. But when I'm watching shows like this, I'm like, kill him, get rid of him. It's kind of like being in the situation versus being an observer.
What's tonight's moon?
Full. With the Moon Shadow Elves at the height of their power, no defense will stand against them.
Must find them today, in the light of the sun, and stop them before it's too late.
Crazy magic theory that the Moon Shadow Elves will be the most powerful when the moon is full. That's crazy. I really love that because they're continuing with the world building idea of that. There are 6 primordial forces. The moon is one of them. Like these particular race of elves are powered by the moon. That's crazy. I love it.
Well done, Rayla.
Rayla. Using the berries to showcase blood is kind of crazy. But then the person who just spoke was like, well done, Rayla. And she's like, oh, I used both of them. If she's known to let people go, or if this was her very first kill, shouldn't there have been more people along with her to ensure that she got the kill as opposed to letting her go and do her own thingy? It's very difficult taking the life of someone. Any other time it would have been fine, but this is literally war we are talking about right now, though.
Wait. Shh. Oh, he deserves it.
Good brother overall, I would say. I legit thought he would like smack him in the face like, haha, did you think I would actually help you out? No, I wasn't gonna help you out. That's my sister, you doofus. But he was like, you know what? Get rid of her for me. I don't want to deal with her. I don't want to see her face. Take her away. Also, the prospects of marrying the future king, I don't see anything bad about that. Claudia was reading a book called Love Amongst the Dragons, which is like, I feel like blasphemy to read in the human kingdom, mostly because of the fact that the dragons are considered to be the enemy of the human kingdom, right? So it's just kind of crazy to be able to read that out in front. But you know what? I never shied away from reading smart. So what if it gets me executed? At least I had fun in my very short life. Crazy stuff. Also have a crazy theory, which is what if Kalim is actually the Dragon Prince? Mostly from his blue aesthetic, but what if they didn't actually get rid of the egg, but almost nurtured him in a human lifestyle? All the context clues I've gotten so far is just the fact that he dresses in blue. He had thunder while he was drawing the dragon toasting marshmallow man, which is kind of crazy, but okay, go off, I guess. Those are the only 2 context clues I have, but it seems like that would be a good idea, right? Like almost like how Odin adopted Loki and made him grow up in Asgard, something similar to that. I think that is a possibility.
But it's spring. That's the Winter Lodge.
Winter is coming, eventually.
I was just saying what Richa's behavior, oh, you have a winter lodge and a spring lodge, blah, blah, blah. But then the king just made a Game of Thrones reference and I'm just like, huh? Winter is coming.
Everything.
Kiddo, even if I was iskai'd into a fantasy realm, I know that's blasphemy. Why would you say that out loud? What are they gonna do? Kill the king? Huh? Like, oh my god. If it was me, I would go back and be like, is this what's happening there? Because they're talking about it. Are you gonna die? Are they gonna kill you? Huh? I mean, I wouldn't really, but also at the same time, wouldn't that be a fun interrogation and line of questioning? It would help me protect my brother better if I knew what I was walking into or walking away from. Going on an assassination mission with like a blood pact or some magic like that is like the worst decision to ever make. What is wrong with you guys? Like, there are so many loopholes in that conversation. Like, what does justice mean? What if Ryla goes and attacks Callum, but Callum is essentially the dragon prince, or so he is in my head right now? What if she goes and attacks him? According to whatever your binding ritual is, that is injustice because you're essentially taking revenge for something that hasn't happened. Yes, because of misinformation, you thought that you were doing something that had justice in it, but in the realms of magic, it doesn't make sense. And under the laws that you made that pact, it's stupid and dumb and redundant. And so you're literally cursing yourself to die. Oh my god. Unless I am absolutely misunderstanding the concept of the pact that they just made, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. No, I've seen dumber things, but also at the same time, God.
Runan,
What is it, Rayla?
I was wondering, what if they know we're coming?
We have the advantage of surprise. If we act fast, we will accomplish our goals without sacrifice.
There are lives at stake. It's okay. Just be like, I wasn't able to do it. I got scared. Let them know. The best decision they can make right now is potentially go back and attack like after 2 moons or something like that. Or at least make a change in their plans as opposed to jumping in there and being ambushed. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. I'm sure the guy is gonna die and then she is going to inherit the Shadow Hawk thingy or his staff. Oh my god. Also, to be completely honest, if someone from my team is asking this question before a surprise attack, I am going to be like, okay, maybe they are scared. But also, on the other hand, what if they did something dumb? I will genuinely be like, why do you ask? What happened? Did you actually kill the dude? What's going on? What do you know? Tell me. Yes, it's paranoid, but it helps to be paranoid sometimes. Hey, what if they know we are coming? Before an ambush mission. At the most, you're like, okay, she must have done something dumb. At the worst, you're like, oh, she's a spy. You know what? Fun episode overall. I love the world building. I kind of thought that the soldier was going to be dumb, but he's really smart, especially with the think fast and then getting Callum off of the horse so that the soldier could take on the horse. That was very clever. Here are my theories outside of Callum potentially being the dragon prince. The mirror in the mage's room is a magic mirror, obviously, but it is going to potentially showcase either the future or it can see really far, or it is the third option, which is the very likely option according to me, is the fact that it is going to signify when a very major moment is going to happen in their world, and it was potentially that mirror that was used to find the Dragon King and get rid of him. I'm also guessing it has like some ritualistic purposes, but then something just came into my mind, which was the fact that the elves or the leader of the elves was once again very smart. He saw the moon moth and he was like, ah, they're here. That plan was leaked by someone. They know that our attack isn't surprise anymore, so let's hide. I love the magic amulet that made them all invisible or like camouflaged them into their surroundings. That was really cool. But Runan essentially went 4 moons ago. They killed our Dragon King and got rid of the Dragon Prince. And I was hypothesizing that maybe Callum is the Dragon Prince, but then if we are going according to moon cycles, that sounds more like 4 months, max to max 4 years. And so Callum potentially could not be the Dragon Prince if we go by that theory. That is considering they have the same years and cycles as we do. That one thought destroyed my entire theory, which kind of sucks. Maybe they did get rid of the Dragon Prince. I'm sure that they would have searched far and wide. Especially the Dragon Queen must have searched far and wide for her kid. That sucks. I was so sure that he was the Dragon Prince. Ooh, another theory I have, which might be a potential theory, is the fact that the king and the high mage have definitely done the nasty. Seems like it, doesn't it? The vibes are there. It felt like it was possible. It felt like he has disturbed the king before the king made that threat of execution. He has disturbed the king and the king didn't mind it at all until their eventual breakup, after which they were like, you know what, come into my room again and wake me up in the morning without doing the nasty with me, I'ma execute you. Let me know what you think about it. But overall, really fun episode, really strong start to the show. I am hyped to see what happens after this. Are they going to potentially go back and attack at a later point in time, which logically speaking makes a lot more sense than them continuing the attack? But also they have the power of invisibility for a few seconds. right? Like they just were invisible for that particular point in time. Unless they have more amulets, they can still go ahead and assassinate the king. And no one would be the wiser. Like the soldiers wouldn't really find out about the camp. Unless the moon moth is going along with them everywhere they're traveling, and the soldier who was essentially let go of at the start of this episode is like, that seems curious. Maybe they have the power of invisibility, and then finds out and kills them. It would be very smart of them to kill the moth, but I don't think they will do that. I am really curious about the blood pact or whatever pact they made, because Ronan did go, oh, by not killing him, you've killed us all. So do they have to do this no matter what? Oh, that's crazy. The consequences of that pact I want to see. But fun episode overall. I really love the dynamics of it all. I'm really curious to see how many of my theories come into reality. But it was fun overall, and I can't wait to see the next few episodes with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe. Have you seen the show before? Are you watching it with me? Did I encourage you to watch the show? Let me know, and I shall see you in the next one. Oh, if you have any shows you want me to watch, let me know down in the comments, and I will put that into my rotation. Until then, take care. Bye bye.